Welcome, Storage Nation, to the Self-Storage Investing Podcast. I am your host, Joe Downs, guest hosting for Scott Meyers, and I'm excited to be here with Adam and Kirby Leiby out of Raleigh, North Carolina. How do you screw up that? Welcome, Storage Nation. Doug, you don't do hot take videos, do you? Or outtake videos? All right. Welcome, Storage Nation, to the Self-Storage Investing Podcast. I am Joe Downs. I'm guest hosting for your regular host, Scott Meyers. And I'm excited to be here with a special edition of the First Deal, First Dive with some of my favorite students, Adam and Kirby Leiby out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome to the show, Adam and Kirby. How are we doing tonight?
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Doing good.
Excellent. So you guys are here because you just closed on your first deal. And I thought it'd be really cool. In fact, we had a lot of folks asking us at the Academy for maybe we'll call it social proof, right? They want to know, they want to hear from folks like you who've actually done it. Scott talks a lot on this podcast about how he teaches people to buy self-storage. And obviously at the master, we have master classes where we're talking about how you can do this too. And then folks coming to the Academy and we're telling them at the Academy, you guys could do this too. And here you are, you've actually done it. So I want you to, first, we're going to walk through the whole process, but first I want to hear from you about how you felt in particular when you signed those final loan docs on a deal, by the way, that almost didn't close. We'll get to that. Right. But when you first signed, the wet ink is still wet, right? And you're walking out of that, I don't know if it's a closer's office or if you signed at your dining room table. I don't know how. Give me the scene, paint the scene. Where were you? What's going on? And when you walked out, were you excited? Or that night were you guys what the hell did we just do?
I mean, I could say for myself, I was excited. Leading up to the closing day, that was more nerve-wracking, with all the logistics of working through once we got under contract and getting all the vendors scheduled for inspections, etc. Kirby, I'll pass it over to you for your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I think
hold on. You just we're gonna get to you. You just closed on a major deal, right? The first self-storage deal of your life, and that's your reaction? That's literally what you were like?
Should we be honest here, Kirby?
Yeah. I don't want you to lie.
Well, it was a crazy situation because we actually had an offer on another property, a wedding venue property that we put an offer on the day before. And that morning when we were literally driving to the lawyer's office to sign the contracts for the self-storage facility, we found we didn't get the wedding venue. So we actually were walking into the lawyer's office pretty upset. But then obviously after we signed all the paperwork, it's one of those things that you can't let it get the best of you. You keep moving on, keep looking forward. We're excited to get the first one under us. We hit our goal. We wanted to really get one in the first 6-8 months of this year. So we had the back half of the year to really use Scott Meyers' network and the mentors, etc. So it's been amazing to say the least.
My mind's blown a little bit because what I just heard was you were trying to close 2 deals. It sounds like on the same day.
Yeah,
not your average student here, folks.
Yeah, we love to overwhelm ourselves. The more on our plate, the better.
Kirby, I still don't like Adam's answer, but I accept it for what it is. Tell me about what was going through your head. Were you excited? Was there any excitement with you two at all?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously we were working on this deal for months ahead of time. So this was our main focus. And we got to the lawyer's office. We brought our 2 children with us. Since I homeschool them, they tag along with us everywhere. So they were kind of it was cool to see it in their eyes too, how excited they were just to be
they were excited?
They were like, we
actually
get this facility, this is ours. And we were like, yeah, this is it. So they got to be in the lawyer's office with us and kind of experience it. And yeah, I think we used a local lawyer who was great, who specializes in self-storage. So they were really knowledgeable through the whole process. And afterwards we just went out to eat for lunch and kind of toasted with our kids, and the rest is history now.
That's amazing. So the kids were excited. Somebody was excited in the
Yeah.
Leiby household. That's I'll take that. I'll take that. I was more excited for you, I think. All right. All right. So how did we get here? How did you guys end up on this podcast? Who are the Leibys? What? So talk me. So rewind back to the beginning. However long ago it was. Whose idea was it? Who are you? What do you both do? Kirby, you homeschool. I just heard that. I'm not sure if you do anything else. Adam, I don't know what you do. Tell our audience who you guys are, what you do, why you even thought about. I don't even know if you thought about self-storage first or something else, but just walk us through the process, the beginning stages of this process of making a decision to say we want to do something else or something more.
Yeah, I'll start us off. It was really around the summertime. It was actually July 4th week. We were on a week-long vacation that we usually take every year. And I think Kirby honestly just got to the point of sick of listening to me complain. So I've kicked the tires a lot over the last year or two. I've been in corporate sales for the last 17 years and was really looking for something different. It's just, you get to a certain point in your life and was just looking for more. Kind of always considered myself a good entrepreneur, but never went down that path. So when we were on vacation there, well, actually, just to back up for a second, I do a bunch of traveling through North Carolina, and I've always noticed these self-storage facilities and how they kept growing and popping up everywhere. And I'm like, man, this seems like a good business. But I've kicked the tires on several other businesses as well. But it was Scott Meyers. It was on, I believe, Instagram. Kirby was following him and said, hey, you should do this academy coming up. It was in November of last year. And it was at that moment that we made the commitment. We signed up and we made the commitment to at least to get to the academy and check it out and make that investment. And, I'll just kind of pause there for your thoughts as well, Kirby.
Yeah, I mean, Adam has a strong work ethic. He's had it all his life ever since I knew him. And when we were on vacation, I sent that to him and I was like, this would be perfect for us. I think at least it's something that we can do on the side until we can build it up even more. And he was just, ready to just do something new. And I think just being on vacation and being in that mindset of like not having the, being home and having like work on your mind and stuff like that, I think it helped us make the decision even more. So, yeah, I mean, then he went to the academy and he came back and he was like a different man. I was like, who are you and what happened to Adam?
All right.
He was just so excited. So,
all right, we'll unpack that in a second. So you were open-minded. It sounds like
Yeah,
you were
absolutely.
kind of tired of the life you were living. You had an open mind, but you didn't see storage, if I heard correctly. Kirby did. Is that right?
Yeah. So I saw it on Instagram. Adam's not a huge social media guy, but whenever I see something that's, something that I want him to see, I flat out say like, look, like, I think we need to do this.
What did you see that piqued your interest that made you think, hey, I gotta talk to Adam about this?
It was basically just talking about, like previous academies. It was kind of like a recap of, do you want to be your own entrepreneur? Do you want to be able to, be more flexible with your life? Everything that we really have been talking about recently. So it was just a win-win.
No, I was going to say it was the passive income was the piece of it, right?
Passive income. Okay.
Yeah.
Had you looked at other opportunities? It seems like your minds were open, and Kirby, it seems like you were maybe even looking.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking at a lot of stuff. Like we're always open for new ideas, but for some reason this really stuck out. And I think honestly, it was just like the way that Scott and his team presented himself with just the academy and the education behind it, because we had no idea anything about storage. Like I went to school for hotel restaurant management. So, I know nothing about that. And Adam, I mean, he went to school for business, but we still just our backgrounds had nothing to do with storage. So we really liked the fact that you can go and there's these mentors that can help you and the academy, and they're with you along the whole way. And, so that's kind of what I think draw us in.
Okay. All right. So you share this Instagram post and what you saw, and maybe you did some more research. I don't know. Probably I would think you did.
Yeah.
And then you pack Adam up and you ship him out to an academy.
Bye.
Yeah.
Like the good husband he is, he went and he came back a changed man. Those are your words.
Yes. Yeah.
So Adam, what happened at the academy?
It was kind of weird, man. Like I go to a decent amount of conferences, just with obviously my career, and I got down there and I almost felt like I was at home. Like it didn't matter who the person was, if it was you, Joe, when we met for the first time down there, or anybody else. I was like, man, these people were very like-minded. Like I feel like I'm already friends with them. They're very easy to get along with. And that was very comforting for me, because obviously all of this was way outside of our box. We knew we were going to have to make an investment if we wanted to move forward with this too. So I was looking at all those different pieces and just like, man, I want to get to know these people better. Everyone seemed like a great group of folks, and yeah.
Okay. And thank you for the little plug there. You don't have to compliment the host. So what else? So you felt at home. How about you were there for 3 days? That I know. What happened during the 3 days besides the comfort level? Like it had to be more than, all right, Joe's a nice guy and Jackson or whoever was there, they're nice people. That's sure very comforting, but you still made a big decision when you left there, or at least you went home to talk to Kirby about a big decision.
Yeah, we pretty much had I had her on speed dial that last day down.
This is not a marital counseling session.
No, I'm very we communicate very well, so for better or for worse. So I had her on speed dial pretty much throughout the academy there, but it was the content. So it was first feeling like I was kind of home. I liked the people that I was around. And then it was the content and the speakers and really all of that. And then starting to learn the concepts of how self-storage works. I could see the vision, right from the get-go. I was like, this is something I want to do. It makes sense. So yeah, we just went all in on it.
Okay. So you actually went all in while you were there. You consulted with Kirby. Kirby, what's going through your head while this is going on?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, even before he got home, just being on the phone with him, I could tell like just the excitement in his voice and the stories that he was telling me, the people that he was meeting. And it made me really happy. So I knew that it was a good decision just based on his like attitude towards it. So I said, yeah, like I think it's a great idea as long as we're 100% in on this together and, we work together on this. I think we could go far. So, and that's what we did.
All right. Now you both had, and we'll get into what happens next, right? But you both had a decision to make there from a time. Obviously there was a cost component to it, but there's a time component to it. So did you discuss how were you guys going to pull this off? Who was going to do what the roles were going to be between the two of you? Because I know the audience doesn't know, but I know looking back now, you're both very involved in this, right? And actually, Kirby, you kind of just threw in there. You went to school for hotel management. That actually probably plays more of a role than you think.
That's
right?
true.
In helping you prepare for that. So, what was the discussion like in terms of, look, you hadn't even started yet, right? You made a decision to move forward, but you hadn't started with any of the mentoring and training yet. There was a little bit of a period of time there. So what was the discussion like at home with regard to your time and who was going to do what and how are you guys going to handle this? Because I think a lot of people, and this is not just anecdotal, it's not just my opinion, it is anecdotal. I've had these conversations. A lot of people are concerned about how can I do this if I have a full-time job, or maybe both have full-time jobs. And Kirby, homeschooling is a full-time job, in my opinion. I can't imagine being home with my kids all day long. God bless you. But and I love my kids dearly. How did you guys think you would tackle that, and how did you tackle it?
Yeah. So I think initially our goal was we set ourselves a goal, and I think that really helped. We said, it was November, obviously, when he got home, and we both agreed, why don't we really try hard and get a storage facility by this time next year? So we gave ourselves 1 year, and it might have been challenging for us. We had no idea how hard it was going to be to get one, but we didn't really discuss really roles at that point.
Okay.
Our main focus was let's get one. So we, hit the ground running. We made up letters. We delivered
Well,
them.
let's not jump ahead. We haven't gotten the training yet.
Okay, sorry.
I'm trying to zero in on. You've made the decision. You're about to start the training. Did you guys discuss who was going to do what? I mean, you had a feeling, you had a little bit of an idea of what you're about to get yourselves into.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
was
initially it was I was going to take the lead on it, and she was going to help out as she could. But once we basically made that commitment and then started to the mentor and the training, we kind of just went, because it was like neither one of us knew the industry, so it was just like, hey, let's just attend all this together. So because I'm the type of person, I like to kind of use Kirby as a sounding board, or get her opinion or insights, right? Well, hey, do you think this is right or that's wrong? So we both wanted to kind of dive in and get from the educational piece. But to Kirby's point, we didn't really say like, okay, you're going to handle this piece, I'm going to handle that piece. That kind of came along months down the road, where we decided I would be essentially the CEO, and Kirby would handle more the CFO. So she's handling the website and all the finances, and I'm handling really from an operational standpoint, the rest of it.
Okay, so let's cover that at the end, like what's happening now. All right, so very cool. This is I think exactly what people want to hear. So thank you guys again. I'm gonna thank you again for being on here.
Yeah.
So now walk me through the training. What did you expect? What did you get? And what did you do? What did you have to do? What was your day-to-day like once you were going through it? Like, what was the beginning of it like for you? Obviously, I know, but I want you to tell the audience.
It was like burning that midnight oil. It really was, right? Because again, Kirby, I don't even think she mentioned this earlier. Yeah, she's homeschooling, but then she's working part-time too, right? And I have a full-time job. So, a lot of those evenings were, the first couple of months, it was a grind, right? It was a commitment, but um, it was an investment that we put up front. So we're not the type of people to take that lightly. If I'm going to put money down, and I have a goal set, we're sure as heck going to run at it fast. And that's what we did.
Okay. So what was the beginning of the training like?
For the very first, it was a little scary in the beginning because we went right into underwriting training, and I was just like, oh man, there's a lot to this. There's a lot to this. Yeah, once we got a couple classes in, and you start to underwrite a handful of deals, and you start going through it, it really is like repetition, just like anything else, right?
Let me pause you there, if I may, because you said something that I think a lot of people might scare them too. So it was a lot of underwriting, financial underwriting that you'd never been exposed to before.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. When you came out of it, how did you feel?
Great. Yeah, it was like one of those things, kind of like anything else. With me being in sales is scary too, right? It's just a muscle. It's repetition. So it clicked. It takes me a little bit. I'm not the sharpest tool, they say, in the shed, but through repetition, that's how I learn, and that's what was good for me. So being consistently on those training calls, week after week after week, and doing the homework and putting in the work, it just clicked at a certain point, and then we felt good about it.
You felt like you had like a rhythm to it, and you understand were all your fears that you went into it kind of gone? Okay.
Yep.
And then, so you come out of training, at least the initial training, but you're never really out of training, right? Because you're participating in mastery calls weekly and open pods and stuff like that. So, but you're out in the real world applying what you've learned. What was that like? Who was doing what? Successes, failures. Give us some nuggets. Give us. If I'm a listener to this podcast right now, and I'm thinking about this, describe for me, so like the real world day-to-day experience of finding that deal.
To be completely frank, it got a little frustrating because once we felt like we had our feet underneath us from an underwriting standpoint, then it was like, okay, let's just start underwriting these deals. So every deal that we potentially thought was a good, for location or size, we had a general, obviously, scope of what we were looking for from a demographic standpoint. So it just got frustrating because the more deals we underwrite, we're like, it just wasn't making sense. It wasn't penciling. That was the tough part, honestly, because we had all that training and it felt good. And I was like, all right, I know how to do this. But the hardest thing, honestly, is finding a deal that makes sense to move forward.
Now you say it's frustrating, and I totally get that because I've been in the business a long time, and I it's near and dear to my heart, the frustration of finding what you think is a good deal to learn it's not. Is it fair to say that you were frustrated, but aren't you glad you were frustrated because you didn't buy those deals?
No, absolutely. And I think you might have talked us off the ledge of one there, Joe, early on, because that was the other thing, right? Like when we thought we found a deal and then we would jump on with Jack or yourself, it was like you guys kind of, you brought us
demoralizing. It was demoralizing. I know.
You brought us back down to life.
Yeah.
Because we were the first one, we were super excited. We're like, yeah, this is the one. This is the one. And then, a week later, we're like, no, that's not the one.
I'm gonna put an analogy in your mouth for you, and you agree or disagree. Was it a good hurt? Like when you're working out,
yes.
and right? That's painful.
You need that
at the time,
yeah,
but it's a good hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want you to scare too many people after, but but look, what did we say up from the beginning? It's hard work, or success is hard work dressed up in overalls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. So, and that's true. And gosh, we always feel bad because I particularly remember you guys being excited about that deal, but you don't know what you don't know yet. Right. You've been empowered to go out and find deals and underwrite them, but you're still polishing the finishing touches of putting it all together. And that's how the program is designed. The mentorship program is designed. And it's also designed to not let you make that mistake.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think just having patience is a huge, you just need to have patience because like Adam just said, like we were getting like trigger happy, like, oh, let's, put an offer, let's do this. But if anything, it was just more practice for us, like more underwriting. I think the more we underwrote, the better we got at it, the faster we got at it. So I think the first time we underwrote a deal, it took us like, I don't know, a couple hours.
I don't know about that. Come on now.
I mean, if you add it up, I think it was.
It probably did.
Yeah. And then towards the end, I mean, we were a lot quicker and I think we were a lot more like relieved with our decisions too.
And pretty soon we're going to be rolling out AI tools for you. And it's going to take minutes, not hours.
Yeah.
Okay. So the deal you have, what's it called? Where is it? Let's get a little quick promo for you here.
Lemon Springs self-storage in Sanford, North Carolina. It's about 30 minutes south of Raleigh.
Can a listener get a little a move-in special for you? No?
Of course.
We actually have a promotion going right now, half off the first month. So come on.
In 2-3 minutes, tell me about how you found it and ultimately close on it. And also let's discuss the hiccup that happened there.
Yeah. So we found it obviously through the training. We got on a lot of brokers lists, so we had a lot of deals coming into our inboxes and flushing through them, and it did catch our eye at first. The funny thing is we actually walked away from it. So we looked at it, we underwrote it, and we're like, this isn't a good fit. And then a few days later, we were on the phone with actually Jack, and Jack's like, hey, did you see that deal down in Sanford? And we're like, yeah, so he unpacked that a little bit. He's like, so why'd you guys walk away? He's like, I think you guys should take a second look at it. So we're like, okay, we'll take a second look at it. And that's what we did. And we discovered a few things that were pretty eye-opening. For one, the previous owner never updated his SEO on Google. So if you tried to actually call, if you Googled Lemon Spring self storage and called, it was the original owner that built the facility, and the number didn't work. So it was stuff like that we were finding right off the bat. And then really from a per capita, the competition that was around us in that area, we just felt like there was opportunity to be had there.
Okay. And then you talked to Jack, went through, you underwrote it, brought it to Jack, then brought it to Jack. What was that process?
So after we talked to Jack, and Jack said, hey, take a second peek at it. We underwrote it, and then we circled up with him, and then he felt good about the numbers. We felt good about.
How did you do on your underwrite when you brought it to Jack? How did he score you? If I asked him,
oh gosh,
it was spot
I'm
on?
kind of curious. I want to know what he scored. What his score is.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know if he was actually.
Were you both? Here's the way to answer it. Were you in line? Did he agree with your assumptions and valuation?
For the most part, yeah.
Well, then you did well. You get an A. So you made an offer. Was there negotiating at all? Was it back and forth? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where.
What was
honestly,
what was the ask? Tell me about the negotiation.
Yeah, so the ask was it was listed for $699,000, and we were actually thinking our underwriting, what we were projecting to put in an offer at was $615, and that's where Jack really stepped in, and just phenomenal mentorship, honestly, because he's like, well, why 615? Why not go like 585? Start lower. And I was like, well, you think that's disrespectful? Is that too low? And he's like, pick up the phone, call the broker, feel him out first, see what he has to say. He's going to tell you yay or nay. So we did exactly that. And I was like, called the broker, and I was just like, hey, we're underwriting this. We would love to put in an offer. If we can get, around the 686 or the 580, 590 area, would that be entertaining to the seller? And he goes, I believe it would be. And I said, okay, well, we're going to have an offer coming your way here within 24 hours.
And you picked it up for, do you mind disclosing? You don't have to.
Yeah.
It's public record, so you might as well.
Yeah. 625,000.
So you negotiated, so you started at 585, and then you guys ended up at 625. Happy with it?
Yeah, absolutely. And we going back through the negotiation, I mean, we were at a point where we felt good about it. Like if they didn't accept the 625, we were going to walk away. And I told the broker that up front. I said, hey, this is our best and final. You guys can't do that. I understand, but we're not going any higher. And they ended up accepting it.
Awesome. How do you guys feel today?
Really good, actually. We've been getting some solid traction over the last couple of weeks. Now that we're through that transition period, and got the software up and running, and really everything is really starting to pick up. So
start to finish, from Instagram post to closing, roughly how long?
It would be actually 13 months.
13 months from Instagram posts, from training to closing, how long?
So that would have been, we closed in
August. Or no.
11 months?
Yeah.
No, we closed in August, so that would be 9 months.
9 months.
Yeah.
Awesome.
10 months, yeah.
And it's performing to your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, the reason we bought this one is there's a lot of value add there. It's half empty. It's only 51% occupied, so there's a ton of value to be had there, and that's where our focus.
In a good market, right? Obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys. What's next?
Another one. Our next goal is to get another one in the next year. I would love just to pick one off a year. If I can do more than that, phenomenal. But that's my goal right now.
How many more until you are able to leave your job, Adam? I know that depends, but
it really does on the sides.
Yeah.
But the next one, so this one, we weren't really looking for one. This Lemon Spring self storage has about 92 units, 10 parking spots. So it's a smaller facility, but we thought it was a great facility to cut our teeth on, right, for the first one. we're going to look to scale up a little bit more now. So hopefully if we can get one, 2, 3, 400 units, I would say 3.
Okay.
Three's what I'm thinking, 3 to 4. But I do like that W2, and the banks do too.
The banks do too. Yeah. Do you feel like you have the tools now to go build this empire, this storage empire?
Absolutely. And everybody across the board has been so supportive through the mentorship. Rod and Kristen Blanc, they've been phenomenal, really helping us on the back end here. And then your team, Joe, and everybody at Scott Meyers. I mean, I couldn't be more thrilled with where we're at this point in our journey. Really not even a year in. So I'm happy.
And let me tell you something that warms my heart, not because we're interviewing you, for the audience to hear, but yeah. I know you guys, and that truly warms my heart. I'm so happy for you. Thank you so much, both of you, for taking the time to share your experience, because that's what people have been asking us to hear is who's actually done this, what's it like. They wanted to hear your fears and the unknowns, right, and how you tackled that. So thank you so much, both of you, for being so gracious and sharing your story with us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Appreciate it.